Hi everyone, Jim here. Today we're going to make smoked marinated pork chops. Let me show you how. So let me show you how I make pork chops. Now to start out most proteins, I usually start out with a brine. And lately I've been doing mostly dry brines, but you could do a liquid brine if you prefer. I find the dry just so much easier. It seems to work just as well. So basically for a dry brine, you just want to sprinkle salt across the top. You don't want it like crusted in salt, but you want a fair amount on there. And this will help seal the moisture into your proteins. And you want to do both sides. And if you can get some on the edges, that's great too. Since these are going to be marinated, you could skip this step, but I like doing both. All right, so now that they're salted, I'll put them in the refrigerator for a couple of hours, and then we'll get back to the next step. While our pork chops are brining, let's get the marinade together. So my marinade is going to have half a cup of olive oil, a half a cup of soy sauce, a quarter cup of brown sugar, a quarter cup of Worcestershire sauce, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and about 3 cloves of minced garlic. So all we do is take this and mix it up, and then we'll pour it over the pork when we're ready to marinate it. Okay, that's all ready to go. Okay, the next step is to marinate. So you can do that in the refrigerator for 2 or 3 hours, or I can show you a cool device that does it for you in 15 minutes. Be right back. Now that the meat is brined, we have our marinade ready, it's time to marinate the pork. The first thing I'm going to do is use a meat tenderizer, which will help tenderize the meat and also allow the marinade to soak into the meat and absorb all the flavors. Now you don't want to do it too much because you don't want to have the pork fall apart. So just want a little bit, flip it over, do it on each side. Now we want to do the marinade. So this is what I was going to tell you about this cool device that I got on Amazon last year. It was on a deal of the day special, and I thought, wow, this is really kind of slick. So what this is a vacuum marinator. So you put your pork in there, your marinade in there, and then you put the top on, and then it's got a vacuum pump, and then it rotates for 15 minutes, and it's equivalent to several hours of marinating. Let me show you how it works. So now we'll take the pork, put it in the marinator, and attach the vacuum hose. Okay, and now we'll add the marinade. Just pour it across over the top. Might be good to have a spatula. Okay, now with the marinade in there, now we put the top on, and we'll hook up the vacuum. Press the button, and now it's vacuuming the container. So the machine is applying a vacuum to the canister. That vacuum will help the marinade absorb into the meat and allow it to marinate much faster than it would in the refrigerator. So now it's ready to go. We lock the top, pull out the vacuum, wrap it up and put it back in the machine. And then we take this and put it on the rollers. And now it'll rotate for 15 minutes, getting all the marinade into each of the pieces of pork evenly. While the pork is marinating, I'll go out and get the grill started and get it all ready to smoke. Okay, so the pork is done marinating, so it's time to pull it off of here and take it out to the grill. And I'll leave links in the description below for where you can find these devices. These are gonna be good. All right, let's take it out to the grill and put them on the smoker. So I have the smoker set at 180 degrees. We're gonna put the pork chops on here for about an hour and to let them smoke. Then we'll pull them off, the temperature of the grill up, and put them back on to sear. So it's called a reverse sear. Now I'm going to put a temperature probe in one because I don't want these to go over 120 degrees because I'm going to sear them and I don't want to overcook them. They shouldn't do that in an hour, but it's always a good idea to make sure. Okay, so now we'll let them cook for an hour, come back, pull them off, and turn the heat up and sear them. Then they'll be ready for dinner. All right, so our pork chops have been on here for an hour. They're at right about 120 degrees. So now I'm gonna pull them off, turn the grill up to 500, then I'll put them back on to sear. Okay, so this should only take a few minutes and then we'll sear each side and then they'll be ready. Okay, the grill's up to temp, so now it's time to put the pork chops back on to sear. Okay, we'll let those cook for about 6 to 8 minutes, and then they should be ready to flip. Okay, it's been about 6 minutes and the internal temperature is about a 135. So I'm gonna flip them over, cook them for another 6 minutes, and then they should be ready to pull off. Okay, we're in the home stretch now. Okay, so the pork chops have an internal temperature of 145 degrees, so they're ready to come off the grill. Now I'll take these inside, let them rest for about 10 minutes and see how they taste. Okay, so the pork chops have been resting for about 10 minutes. Time to see how they taste. Ooh. Look at that nice smoke ring around the edge. Very good. Nice and tender, juicy. The marinade and the smoke really balance out, so it has a really good flavor. Definitely one of my favorite recipes. Love cooking pork chops on the grill, especially in the summertime. Can't recommend it enough. So I would recommend trying it. So if you found this video useful, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more of my content, hit subscribe. I'll be releasing more videos doing recipes and product reviews and tips and tricks, things like that. Subscribing to my channel doesn't cost anything and it helps me grow. I'll also be putting links in the description below to the recipe for these pork chops and the marinade, as well as a link to the vacuum sealer on Amazon. I can't tell you how much this is a game changer for me. I'm not good at planning ahead, so being able to do a 4-hour marinade in 15 minutes, that's really cool. So thanks for visiting my channel. Talk to you later.
Oh yeah. So apparently I gotta try Dad's amazing pork chop, because, why not? And it's delicious. Yum, yum, yum. It's probably cold by the time I eat it, but not terrible. I love the juice. It makes it so juicy.